This is the Bronx Project Podcast. I am your host, Mirez.
And I'm your host, Earl Grey.
And I'm sad.
We all sad.
It's been a rough week.
In
pop culture.
Yeah, it's been a rough week everywhere, actually.
Yeah.
Not only in pop culture, but just like news-wise and stuff.
Also, my laptop stopped working.
Yeah, your laptop is... I don't want to say this, but like your laptop might be dead.
I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be the reason why.
Every time
I turn my laptop on, I see it die a little more inside.
I don't want to hurt you anymore. Yeah. Steven's password is pussy.
It was no caps. Just PUSSY.
Just pussy.
It's the last thing you would expect. If someone's like, yo, what's your password? You'd think like Steven 92. Or you'd think like...
I mean, if you're a normal person,
right?
Yeah, I guess you would just think like your birthday.
Or like the Knicks or some shit, right?
Yeah, but like... When you told me that shit, I was like, of course.
Pussy.
Of course it's going to be pussy.
The beer of the week for this week is the Corona Premier.
Yeah.
Everyone's had a Corona. We're not fucking reinventing the wheel with this one.
But this is a new type of Corona. Usually people will drink the Corona Special. What's it called?
The extra.
Yeah, the Corona Extra. But this one is called Corona Premier. Not sure what the difference is.
It kind of feels like it's the same. I'm guessing it's the calories.
But why would it call it Premier? We already have a Corona Light, and that should just be enough for the calorie intake.
But I guess Corona Light tastes like ass.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, here's the same taste with fewer calories.
So they just
Premier.
To Premier, it's like, hey, here's a good tasting beer, but fewer calories.
Right. So my point is, like, shouldn't they do away with the light now? Aren't they just making extra beer for no reason now?
It's just it's light beer that's labeled Premier. I think that's what they did. I didn't see Corona Light anymore.
Yeah. So you think they changed the light to Premier?
I think they changed the name to.
We're probably lying, but I hope we aren't.
I hope not. I hope that it's just a new type of beer. I got it on sale.
$15 for a 12er.
$14.99 for a 12er. And I'm like, hey, I've always wanted to taste the Corona Premier. It's new. Yeah. And I'm like right now figuring out that Premier just might be the new name for the Corona Light. I want to do my research after this podcast. And I'm going to be very mad if it is the light beer. And I'm here drinking fucking Corona Light the entire time.
And you're like, oh wow, I feel fancy.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, this is a new beer. It's trying to like, it's like a placebo to my brain. Like, ooh, this tastes good. It tastes like even better than the regular.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, just by giving it just a new name.
It's a beer SIBO.
They fucked with me.
Damn, they got you good. They didn't get me, then they got me too.
They got you too, because you thought like, oh shit, this is a new beer.
Yeah, now I was excited to try it too. But for those of you who are trying the podcast out for the first time...
Yeah, which is a lot of people, usually.
Yeah.
We're new.
We're new.
Ish. Newish.
Season 2?
Season 2, but we're still newish.
We're sophomores.
Yeah, I guess sophomores, then season 3, season 4. Season 4 would be seniors.
Yeah.
Then after that...
Well, then no one's going to be telling us shit.
Yeah. We're going to have some like special effects. We're going to be in the actual studio. We're going to have like an actual producer. Steven and I would just be writing stuff.
I can't wait till we're just on the mic for an hour and then everyone else handles every other aspect
and just
of the
leave. All right, guys, bye.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun,
right? And then people just write our content. Oh my god, I can't wait.
That's never gonna be fun.
I cannot wait to sell out.
I don't want anyone writing my content.
I cannot wait to sell out.
I don't think anyone's funnier than me.
Yeah. I'm not here. I don't like co-host this.
I don't think anyone's funnier than me. I'm not saying you're not funny.
I don't write this with you.
I think you're ass funny. I don't think you're funnier than me.
No. I'm not funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I wouldn't want anyone writing our material.
But you forgot that I was here for a minute.
I didn't say I don't think you're
This
as
is
funny
what
as me,
happens
Josh.
when you drink the
Your
Corona
ego's
Premier.
you're
drinking the Corona Premier.
You're letting your ego get the best of you, man.
Why? Because you fucking Premier? you're higher class than me. Am I the Corona Light?
I premiered this podcast.
Good luck being solo, you bitch.
Damn, who's gonna fucking edit?
Right?
We're not that big yet.
Anyways, that's the future conversation. Right now, we're just having it. But yeah, the beer of the week.
For all of you who are new, you know there's 4 systems.
Yeah.
There's 4 tiers. Broken bottle, which is trash.
Yeah.
Canned, which is
kind of trash.
Kind of trash. Is the hand job of beers.
There's
the bottled beer, which is like the blow job of beers. Like, we're getting
good.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's good.
Almost there.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the draft beer, which is like,
woo.
This is the tight pussy of beers.
Yeah, uh-huh. It's like, you never want to let that beer down. Like, you want to marry that beer.
If anything, you feel like you're letting the beer down. Mm-hmm. That beer will never let you down.
Exactly. That beer will drop you for another person.
Kind of beer that will make you get drunk too fast. Like, it make you nut too fast, but I was trying to
I got it.
I was trying to find a cleaner comparison, but it was...
No.
Too late.
This is not a clean podcast. Every time I upload a podcast, I have to specifically put specific.
Beep.
Yeah.
Explicit?
Yeah, explicit. Specifically explicit. It's like, we just want you to know that this is really dirty.
This specifically here is explicit.
We are filthy. We're a filthy bunch.
You think we're ever gonna get to the point where we're big and where we're so big that we have to start censoring ourselves? With
nope.
The beep?
This is a podcast.
Beep.
I mean, I downloaded the beep sample if you want.
Bro, we've been saying that we're gonna have a soundboard for like 20 episodes now. Still not here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure it out one day.
When we make it so big that we just concentrate on the mic and then just the soundboard. Yeah. Then
that'll be our 2 responsibilities.
Uh-huh.
The mic and the soundboard. So before we get to the sad events of the week, we're gonna talk to you about the beer of the week. Would you like to go first?
Of course I would. I'm not drinking that beer at the moment, which is fucked up.
It's having another Beck's.
Yeah. We had leftover Beck's from last episode, but I did drink 2 of the Corona Premiers, and I would like to say that...
Why don't beers expire?
They do expire. You're just not looking at the dates. They legit do expire. That's a stupid question. Why does the milk expire? I don't know. Look at the fucking date.
Not because... Okay, so... Thalia, she's drinking soy milk. Well, she was drinking soy milk. I think it was soy milk. It was it's a milk brand milk. It's not dairy.
Yeah.
Right? So she's like, I think it expired. And so I'm troubleshooting the scenario with her. I'm like, all right, so what did it say? Expired by or best by? Because, it's different. Expired by means you can't drink past this day. Best by means it's just not as fresh past that day.
I feel like it's still an expiration date. I feel like if it's not as fresh as that date,
it's like that
means
it's like, okay,
it's just not a good beer anymore. That means
it's not as good of a beer, but it's like
it's stale.
Like Head is best by.
Yeah,
like
Head is best by like
8 p.m.
I mean, Head is best by forever.
No, but
not
like,
in a conference call. You don't want Head at a conference call.
I know, but like I don't want Head at a. I feel like if I'm gonna get Head
bathroom.
If I'm gonna get Head, the optimal times for Head is like
8 p.m.
6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Like not when you're driving the highway, maybe local.
By. Yeah. Not not Best Buy the electronics store.
No. Like, I mean, it's for me. It could be any time. It could be any time.
So, Daphne wakes you, and I'm sorry, Daphne, but Daphne wakes you up at 5 a.m. She's like, baby, I want to suck your dick. For whatever reason, she does. That's optimal head hours.
I'm like, why? I would say, why are you asking?
Just get to sucking.
Yeah. Why the fuck are you asking? Why don't you just get to sucking already? Her and I have an unspeakable bond.
I respect that.
We know that you just don't have to ask. You just do. Don't ask, dude. It's fucking 7 years. Yeah. 7 years. Better start fucking sucking. I'm sorry.
We love you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll see you tomorrow.
You're going to pick her up from work and she's just going to be staring at you.
She's like, so, anytime? How about that one time? I'm like, no.
No.
I don't remember that one time.
My point is,
Yeah.
Best Buy means
It's not as fresh.
it's not as fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, so beers do have expiration dates.
They do.
I didn't know that.
They definitely do.
I'm looking for one.
Don't look for it. They do.
I'm about to prove your shit wrong, bro.
No, don't prove my shit wrong. You tweet me tomorrow, and when you find it,
Fake news.
fake news. But yeah, my rating of the beer, since we have segued out of it, I'm gonna segue into it. My Corona Premier rating would be pretty much. I'm still call it a canned beer.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not a fan of Corona, and I thought that Corona Premier would be a better Corona, but I'm getting the idea that it's just a light Corona beer.
They premiered a better Corona.
Yeah, it's just like it's supposed to be smoother and richer, which it does promote smoother and richer beer right down the middle. But I don't know. I'm not convinced, honestly. So I'm gonna say like 3 canned beers.
3 canned beers in a 6-pack.
3 canned beers in one of those plastic shits.
Yeah.
That choke duck necks.
Real quick, I wanna make an observation.
Go ahead.
Does Modelo own Corona?
That's something we would have to Google.
No, because it says Cervecería Modelo México.
Yeah, I don't know if they own it. I don't think so.
Honestly, that's some boss
Excuse
shit
me.
if you do.
Modelo's such a better beer.
Yeah, no, because that was gonna be my point. I think Corona and Modelo are the same. Were you done with your rating, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done with the shit.
So I think Modelo and Corona are the same beer, and I think Modelo does what Corona does a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think Corona is that Mexican beer that people want to be like that premier Mexican beer, but it's not.
And you know
I think
what?
Modelo's that better tasting beer.
I'm Dominican, right?
Mm-hmm. You should love it.
I don't hate Corona. I grew up with Corona. Like my dad was a Heineken guy, but the rest of my family from my mom's side, they're Corona people. And yeah, like it's okay. But the moment I had my first Modelo, I was like, damn, this is what it's supposed to feel like.
I'm just showing Mirror's facts right now that I just Googled on my phone.
So it does own it?
They're all the same company.
Damn.
Yep. So, all right. Facts.
Okay, so Modelo owns Corona.
Yes.
Alright, so that makes more sense. Modelo's like, I got the secret sauce for myself, and we're making the Coronas purposefully.
I know what the fuck y'all doing now. Yeah, I just Googled.
That's smart.
It's called Grupo Modelo. It's a brewing company in Mexico City, Mexico. It's Grupo Modelo is a large brewery in Mexico that exports beer to most countries of the world. Its exports brands include Corona, Modelo, and Pacifico, which I've never had. Yeah, we've been bamboozled.
We've been hoodwinked.
Yeah, hoodwinked. Well, there you go.
So obviously Modelo's is so now we know that we're not bugging when we say Modelo's better. It's supposed to be better.
Yeah,
they're doing that by design.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess Modelo's like their flagship.
So I don't feel uncomfortable saying that this Corona Premier is in a 6-pack. For me, it's also a canned beer.
Yeah.
I'll start off by saying that. You give me a 6-pack, I got 3 canned beers.
Yep.
1 broken bottle beer. Pablo.
Of course, Pablo.
And his son Hector.
And
2 ducks got stuck in that one. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this. I've been hoodwinked.
Yeah,
Hector got hoodwinked.
Wow, we're learning things in the podcast. The more you know. Yeah,
that was the rainbow. Guys.
I'll put the rainbow in the background.
Yeah, please do.
You'll probably sue me, but that's fine.
Yeah,
when you sue, I'm recording this in my bedroom. Fuck out of here.
We ain't got no fucking budget.
We got no money. This is our budget.
Our budget is the beer.
What you hear here is literally that's the only thing we spend money on is beer.
Yeah.
And when we have guests,
and gas, I guess.
Gas?
Car gas.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm paying for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like technically, like if you're looking at expenditure, you're looking at gas and beer.
Well, when we have guests, we usually record in a separate area.
Yeah.
But this is what we at.
We were supposed to have Tron Sagas. I know for those of you who are fans from the season 1, you remember Tron? Tron Sagas, the Don Dadas, smooth.
Smooth. That's how he would say it.
Yeah.
We've had him in the episode called The Simpsons Did It.
And he'll be back. He
very famous episode.
Tron Sagas, for those of you who don't know, he's a local rapper. Kind of local. I don't know how local you would say because he like travels everywhere.
Yeah,
he's
based in Atlanta. He's based in New York. He's based in the United States. Honestly,
Yeah.
he's an up and coming, pretty dope ass rapper.
He's a decent rapper.
Yeah, he's a
pretty decent
he's
rapper.
pretty,
Like
mad decent.
Like decent as in like the only thing that I not even that I don't like about him is I like his music. The vocal quality,
but that's
a little to be desired.
Yeah,
for me.
we've discussed this.
But we've discussed this, and I think once he gets that thing,
oh my god! I mean, that comes with the times.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's gonna come.
He's a crazy talented artist. His songs sound great. His writing sounds great. But
outside of music, but that's the thing. That's the thing that we've discovered even with this podcast. Sadly, fucking production quality matters so much.
Yeah, of course.
So much.
Yeah.
Our podcast was always good. I think episode 1 was mad good.
Yeah.
But if you listen to episode 1, you listen to episode, what is this, 29?
Well,
28, 29?
Well, if you listen to episode 1 of season 1,
it's the same
and then
podcast.
Episode 1 of season 2,
it's the same podcast. The production quality is a lot richer.
Better. Yeah.
And for that reason, the podcast sounds like it's a lot richer.
Yeah, of course. And that comes with just me learning mostly.
Yeah.
Mirrors and I learning new techniques. Mirrors pretty much going above and beyond and just writing and then all of his magic into words and stuff. And then me is just purely just learning new techniques to make things sound better.
That's our man's. Josh knows him. Like, Josh has more history with him. He and I, we've had a couple conversations. I fuck with him, obviously.
Yeah.
He's gonna be, I can't say the next episode. He's gonna be in another episode very soon.
Yeah, very soon.
It would have been great to have him because the talking points for this episode, I think it would have been great to have another Bronxian.
Yeah, Bronx.
But also, he's a rapper. He's like entering the rap realm. So I think his insight would have been fantastic. It would have been
fantastic to have here. But unfortunately, things happened, and we don't have him here. But he's here in spirit, right?
Smooth.
But yeah, he's greatly missed, and he's always a favorite of ours to have over.
Pásame una coronita.
Yes, I will.
So to start off, Josh, Earl Grey will tell you, I was kind of dreading this episode because, as all of you know, the Bronx Project podcast is a comedy podcast first and foremost.
Yes,
we're here. Life is a little fucking dreadful. It's a little stressful. Yeah. I think comedy is very important for that because it gives you a getaway, it gives you an escape from all the bullshit. The problem with that is that it's kind of hard to joke about the things that we have to talk about this episode.
That's very true. It's hard to do anything comedy-wise.
And again, listen, like, we're comedians, so our job is to take heavy subjects and lighten them down with laughs. I can't laugh about like the things we're going to talk about this episode, so here we are.
Honestly, it's the whole reason why we didn't come up with the skit.
Yeah, there's
no reason why we didn't have a parody.
This episode. There's no parody this episode. We just gotta get through this shit. Fuck
it. we just gotta get through it. Fuck it. It's not us being lazy. We don't ever be lazy. We take every podcast.
We take this podcast very seriously.
We take it too serious to the point in which, like, we have spent hours on skits alone and trying to come up with content to talk about.
Well, we have to say we're from the Bronx, so we feel it's our duty to talk about it.
Yes.
But before we talk about that, we want to talk about the this week started off with the death, the murdering of XXXTentacion.
Yep, XXXTentacion, or people like to say X.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sad.
He was obviously hated by many, loved by many. I wasn't a fan of his at all.
Yeah.
And I don't hide from the fact I I take domestic violence, I take domestic abuse really seriously. Like that's something that's like close to my heart. So that's something that I never let slide for a second. The moment that became a headline for him, I won't lie, and I hate people who groupthink.
Yeah.
Who like the moment like the group cancels somebody, everyone is like, yeah, he's canceled. But I just can't. I don't know. I can't support someone who does things like that.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. Yeah. The whole reason why I didn't listen to him in the first place, even a while ago, the whole reason why I stood away from his music was because I knew that he was one of those kids that had a troubled past. He was a troubled child. He was very abusive. He was a woman abuser. He was just a bad kid. He was like a fucked up bad kid. And I understand that the territory comes with all of that, but still, he was a bad member of society, I would have to say, which is why that turned me off completely about his music. And I've never been a supporter of someone who just does terrible things, but even if they make good music,
right? But okay, so on the same boat, and I had heard music of his before, like "Look at Me." Yeah, he had a song with Kodak Black.
Yeah,
and you hear those songs, like they're just when you play them sad. It's another song that would be played when you're out and about, walking the streets. I live in the Bronx. There's a lot of music.
Yeah.
Talented kid.
Incredible.
It's just not something that I would have supported. I will admit though, the night after he died, I was like, and it's a little silly. I was like, well, he's not getting any money out of it. Let me just check out the music. And what happened next like broke my heart.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the music.
He's a very good artist.
Like, I think it was 2 episodes ago we were talking about how Kid Cudi was Kanye West primarily, but Kid Cudi was he was a prominent feature in our lives as teenagers and growing into young men. I remember when I first listened to Man on the Moon, The Legend of Mr. Rager. And I could tell you like the exact same feeling I got from Man on the Moon 2 was when I listened to Question Mark. It was so good. It like 19, 20-year-old me would have heard that album and would have fallen in love instantly. 25, almost 20. I turned 26 in a week and a half, guys. By the time this podcast comes out, actually, it'll be a week.
Yeah.
Because it comes out on Wednesday and my birthday is the Wednesday. Wow, so this podcast is going to come out on my birthday.
Yeah. Wait, does it come out this Wednesday? It comes out this Wednesday.
No, but not this podcast. I'm saying the following episode.
Yes, the next episode will be on my birthday. Happy birthday. But yeah, no, I agree with you completely, dude. Like I said, it was Look at Me, which was the song that completely turned me off. It was very hard. It was not something I enjoy listening to. It was just fast paced, and it was just like a lot of like slutty lyrics. I like to call it just slut lyrics.
Yeah.
Then it was a few months ago. I would say like 2 months ago, when he was still alive, obviously. I was listening to a mix. It was a mix online on Spotify, and Jocelyn Flores, the song, came up, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I enjoy that song a lot. Like, I play that song like back to back. Jocelyn Flores was my shit for that entire week, and I was like, wow, I can't believe this guy made this type of music. He was so talented behind that. And then after that, I remember the second song I ever listened to, which was Fuck Love, featuring Trippie Redd, which is an artist I would never associate myself with at all. Red? Yeah, Trippie Redd. And the thing is, it's because of that whole pool of artists that come in Trippie Redd. XXXTentacion, Little Xan, 6ix9ine. That's not the artists that I support at all. Not familiar, doesn't attract me at all. But I would say out of all those artists, X was probably the most talented out of all of them.
And to this day, I listened to the album. I only listened to Question Mark, and Jocelyn Flores is from the previous album, and I listened to that song, but I didn't listen to the album. Also, Fuck Love.
Yeah.
Beside the point. My point is, I listened to the album, thoroughly enjoyed it, and that almost frustrated me more, because it's just there's a duality. Like, you can do one thing well and be a horrible people have redeeming qualities. Mm-hmm. We've discussed this before.
Yeah.
No one's 100% evil. No one's 100% good. Right. And to this day, had I had the knowledge that Question Mark was like right up my alley, that Question Mark was an album that I would enjoy thoroughly, had he been alive, I would not have listened to it.
That's very true.
I would not have.
And I know you very well. That's the whole reason why you didn't even. I remember you didn't even listen to Yank.
I still have not listened to
exactly.
Because there are certain things, and I don't do it to be like social justice warrior. Mm-hmm. I don't do it to be like super PC dude. Give me my cookies. Look at how woke I am. I just if something doesn't sit right with me, I cannot support it. Mm-hmm. But last week we did a cover of Yikes. Yeah. So I listened to Yikes in order to write the lyrics to Yikes.
In order for artistic.
Yeah, for artistic purposes. I listened to Question Mark. I knew going in, okay, we're gonna talk about this kid. I don't know if I could call him kid. I'm only 5 years, maybe 6 years older than him.
That's still a lot of years, honestly.
Yeah. My brother is I'm 8 years younger. I'm 8 years older than my brother, and I call him a kid. So I guess for that reason. This kid.
My brother's about to be 20 soon. Yeah. So I call my brother.
Call him a kid?
He's my baby brother. So yeah, he was very young.
Okay,
he died young.
So this kid.
Yeah.
This kid. He listening to his music. He suffered from depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, shown through a little here and there. And as someone who's had those feelings present in his own life, I would caution people to stop using that as an excuse for what he did. Because it's not, No. I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people use their own shortcomings, where it's depression. I know a lot of people who suffer from bipolar disorder do that shit a lot.
Yeah, they just
people who
use it.
I don't mean to be a dick, but people who have a lot of bipolar people are like abusive mentally. Yeah, they'll use their bipolarness to like, oh no, well, I didn't mean it. I'm just bipolar, so I can do whatever I want because I can control it.
I mean, the people I've met that were bipolar literally never mentioned that, but they have taken advantage of that excuse. And people
tend to do that, and nothing is an excuse, guys. And this is coming from I've mentioned it in the podcast. I was in an abusive relationship when I was like 14, 15. It really ended when I was like 17, but still, it was at its worst from the ages of 14 to 15. And I guess it's part of the reason why I take it so much to heart. But I was depressed, from being a teenager to the shit I was going through to the relationship I was in. I think if I ever were to hit a woman, I think that would have been my time. Yeah.
Yeah, she was terrible to you.
Yeah, she was hitting. If someone's hitting me, I'd say in 2018, if a woman put her hands on me, I might hit her back. I might. I know that's not PC to say. Yeah. Don't fucking put your hands on me.
Yeah, she was. Really...
I treat everyone in this planet with the utmost respect. But that's deviating from what I mean to say. My point is, how do I phrase it? This shit is serious to me. This shit is serious.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell.
This shit is serious.
If you see your face.
And this kid, the talent.
Yeah, it's fuck. it's like fuck, because his talent was so great. He's a good, talented kid, and he's only 20 years old. So imagine, like, in a few years when he's exposed to all these positive. But the thing about that, I know what you're about to say. You can say that after. But what I keep hearing all the fucking time when I'm speaking to people who are legit fans of X, is that, oh, he was changing.
Yeah, that's actually what I was gonna get to.
Yeah,
I think you misread what I was gonna say, but I was gonna say what you were gonna say.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Do you think someone can change?
Of course, I believe in change completely. I believe that it's never too late for someone to change completely. The only time where it's too late for someone to change is obviously if that person dies.
Yeah. That's true.
Literally, I'm not being insensitive about that and at all, but that's what it is.
In the situations, just to be perfectly candid, in that situation that I was in, I wanted to hit her. I really did. It would have been very easy.
Yeah.
And as someone who, I used to get I was in an abusive home. My mom used to hit me, and I remember being a kid, and I thought about hitting my mom, like you know, in the heat of it, you're just like, you want to react, like you want to.
No, I think,
but you know, like, there's a self-control that you have to have as a human, not as a man, blah, blah, blah. As a human, you have to be better than your base impulses. And you knew me as a teenager.
Yeah,
I was a shit human being.
Yep.
As a teenager, and even as 110%. And even as a shit human being who was mean to like everybody, there were still certain lines that I was like, you don't cross that. You don't do that,
because it's morals.
Yeah,
the moral fiber of a human being tells a human being that it's not right to hit somebody just because you're angry.
And that's my point. That's the thing that becomes a little unforgivable for me when it comes to Tentacion. I don't know his government name. Is that, like, I've been in situations where it would have been so easy to react. It would have honestly made me feel so much better to react in that moment. And you still choose not to, because you know, like,
you know what's wrong.
Yeah, you know what's wrong.
That's why.
You know that someone doing something wrong to you doesn't just justify you doing something wrong.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. As much as you, like, the feeling inside of you wants to react in that negative way because you feel like getting even, you know to not get even. You know not to just react in such a negative way where you have to hit somebody.
Yeah. And then the rumors are that he was hitting his pregnant girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that he would, like, lock her in the house and wouldn't allow... Like, it's abuse. Like, it's not even like, oh, we're fighting. And obviously, I'm not fucking saying that that's an excuse. Like, oh, if he did it by mistake, it's okay. It sounds premeditated. Mm-hmm. It's what makes it worse. I mean, it sounds like he was actively abusive.
He went to jail for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, recently.
That's a lot more unforgivable. It's a lot more unforgivable when it's not a mistake, when it doesn't sound like it's coming off as a mistake.
When you want to do it.
Yeah, it sounds like it was premeditated, something that you were actively doing. And then you say that, and then it comes to the point where, okay, had you not gotten caught, would you have ever stopped?
That's true.
Had you not gotten caught, would you have ever been on this,
like, if someone,
this redemption path?
Like, if someone would have come to you and tell you, hey, you shouldn't do this, would you have stopped?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And that's where
you figured out what happened. Someone must have told him, hey, you can't be doing this shit anymore. And he's like, you know what, you're right.
And I think, no, but that's not what I see. What I see is he did what he did, swept it under the rug a little, and then it became public knowledge, and that's when he was like, okay, no, I'm gonna try to be better.
Yeah.
And it seems more like a ploy at that point to me than like genuine change.
Do you think it's because he was a celebrity at that time? I
think so. I think that you're in the fucking Me Too movement. You're in the midst of political correctness movement. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna survive.
Yeah. If
you're actively coming off as a bad person. Now there are people who will forgive a lot as long as you're talented.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, we see that in society all the time.
Yeah.
Kobe was accused of raping someone. Kanye is a MAGA supporter.
Yeah.
And as long as you're talented, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's what celebrities are.
So,
Celebrities are worshipped.
Yeah. So with Tentacion, I think as long as he seemed like he was trying for redemption, people were gonna forgive the worst parts of him.
And I think the thing is,
so that's what makes it hard for me to say that it was like a genuine thing he was doing.
That's what makes it hard for me to say that it was a sad loss. Honestly, as insensitive as that sounds, I'm not sad that he's gone. I'm not sad that
a talented kid died.
Yeah. And that's what makes
this
me...
This is all the shit that I'm... Listen to all the fucking shit we're talking about this kid. Like, because wrong is wrong.
Yeah, wrong is wrong. Terribly wrong. You're wrong. You're in the wrong. But the thing is...
A talented kid died.
And that's probably the worst of all of it. I'm not sad that he's gone. I'm not sad that he died. I was never a big fan of him. I was never much of a supporter of what he ever did. Yeah. I actually thought he was just a terrible person.
Yeah. But you're almost sad that he had all that talent in him.
Yes, and it was kind of like...
And this is the person who was.
Yeah, it's like God had the ability to give one person all this talent, and he was like, he just like covered his eyes and just gave it to him by random, knowing that his traits would be terrible. That's the thing. I can't forgive someone. I can't be sad for someone who was trying to be a better person. I can't. I really can't. You trying to be a better person. You're trying to be a better person, but obviously you're gone now. Yeah. It's a sad loss because he's super talented. I loved all the Question Mark. I liked a lot of his songs. I jammed to him like on a daily basis.
I listened to Numb, and I mentioned this to Josh a couple hours ago. First time I listened to Numb, I cried.
Yeah.
Not like bawling cried, but I shed a couple tears. A lot of his music resonated with me. Like I felt it. Yeah, when I listened to it.
I agree with you completely because you and I grew up in that kind of like...
And I do think he was troubled.
Troubled era, that troubled thoughts. I want to write music about my feelings.
I do think he wanted to be better, but I think that... I don't know how to... Like, it's challenging because I think on some end, he realized what he was doing was wrong, but I don't think he got to that conclusion organically.
No.
I think he was afraid of the pushback also. I don't know. It's
I can't really assume what was going through his head. I can't ask him questions.
To end this, we'll say condolences to his family and to the victims of his abuse. I sorely wish that your life was different and that you made better choices in living. I am genuinely sorry that such a talent went to waste.
That's true. No, I agree with that statement completely.
And speaking of going to waste, this podcast, man.
Don't worry, we got a few more minutes left.
As you know, this is the Bronx Project podcast, and for the most part, this tends to be a comedy podcast. But this week, something like heinous happened. Like it's like disturbing. A group of 4 or 5 men?
Yeah, it's a gang of a Dominican gang in the Bronx, specifically the Arthur Avenue area, the Bronx 3rd Avenue. You know what St. Barnabas is.
And I'm trying to say this without like getting choked up because it's really like this really makes me emotional. Like I love the Bronx. I love this. Like, this is called the Bronx Project. And for those of you who don't know why it's called the Bronx Project, this is Josh and I's project. But before that, Josh and I were working on a rap album for me.
Yes.
I used to want to be a rapper.
Yeah. I mean, it's there still. It's just somewhere very occupied at the moment.
And my first project was going to be called the Bronx Project. Mm-hmm. In reference to the Manhattan Project,
which was a experiment created in the United States for nuclear or atom bomb.
Yeah.
At that, with all the most famous
Albert
scientists,
Einstein.
all of the great scientists from all over the
play
world.
on that was that I'm like a rap genius and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
like
blah,
it was
blah,
going
blah.
to be a lot of things.
Yeah.
It was,
but we also talked about making a podcast.
yeah.
And I guess since we never got to making that mixtape, the Bronx Project, we decided,
turned it
hey,
into
let's
a podcast.
We'll make it a podcast
And
to
I'm-
express,
I'm
that.
so glad.
Yeah, to express that we are born and raised in the Bronx, and we love this area.
Listen, I enjoy this podcast. I think I'm almost glad we didn't make that mixtape.
I mean, I wish the mixtape did come out. I would probably change the name, but whatever.
Eventually,
Future.
I'll yeah.
We
one day.
young,
One day.
we're not dead.
My point is that Josh and I are both very passionate about this city we're from, this borough we're from, and I've never expressed great interest in wanting to leave here. I want to move to California in the sense that I'm like enamored with the state.
Yeah.
Like I have like wet dreams about California.
Yeah, nice weather, always.
Nice weather, weed's legal, and that's a huge thing for me.
Yeah, fuck it, might as well. But yeah, this borough means a lot to us.
And it's things like this that make me want to say fuck the Bronx, and I'm
not gonna lie to you. That's the thing. We're here. You and I are always trying to redeem.
I hit Talia up, and I was like, we can't stay here. I'm so serious, dude.
Bro, I've tried to redeem this borough all the fucking time. All the time. I'm like, the Bronx is probably the most original borough in all of New York City.
I'm gonna start off. Thank you, because I will start off by defending this borough.
Yeah.
This is the birthplace of hip hop.
Yep.
The hood is not the hood because of the hood. It's the hood because poor people live in the hood, and poorness breeds a sense of desperation, and desperate people do desperate things.
Exactly.
So the hood, people who live in the hood aren't like more violent. They're just poorer.
Yeah, they're just poorer and more desperate and not as educated, because I guess we're put in this situation.
Yeah, so that needs to be explained, because I'm not gonna just shit on my borough. I'm not gonna do it.
It's not like, we have a choice. It's not that easy.
I do think we all have a choice.
We do. Because
the thing is that, Josh, we can't do that because you and I were born in this borough.
I know.
You've never stabbed anyone, have you?
No, not at all.
I've also never.
I'm not even talking about that, though.
I stabbed a pussy. You know what I mean? But I just joking.
No, I agree. We all have a choice. We all have a choice, but because of that situation, to everyone, it's not as easy.
Yeah, it's not as easy to
for
say no.
everyone to make good choices all the time. Like, maybe if you grew up in a better environment, yeah, it's easy to make that choice. But choices to us, it's like, what's the realistic choice compared to what's the choice that's harder to grab?
And even with that, like, I was just for defending the Bronx. None of that is applicable for the situation. In this situation, we have a 15-year-old boy. I'm passionate about this because my brother's 17. He's turning 18, and I know that's not like wild young. It's very fucking young, obviously.
It's very young, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like I almost choke up thinking about my brother walking into a bodega in the middle of the night and someone mistaking him for another person and murdering him, because that's what happened. I'm not sure what his last name was, but his first name's Junior. Yeah. You're gonna look up his last name. All right, no, cool. And while I'm talking, this boy, 15-year-old boy, Junior, walks into a bodega.
His name was Alexandro. Fuck. No, sorry. Alexandro Guzman Feliz.
I'm guessing he was a junior like his father. I'm guessing he was Alexandro Guzman
Feliz.
Oh, Feliz the second, I'm guessing.
Oh, whatever, yeah.
And he gets mistaken for another man who I'm guessing cheated on one of the culprit's sister. Yeah. And what they do is they go into a bodega and they like drag this man out, stab him up to death with a variety of knives and machetes. Yeah. And then just run away.
Yep. A cold-blooded murder.
And I can't, like, that shit gives me goosebumps now. I watched that video, and I wish I hadn't, but I watched that video like 6 times.
I actually tried my best not to watch that video because I am very
stop.
it's too gruesome for me.
I couldn't stop watching it.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it was.
The thing is, here we are. Probably before this entire event, we were probably convinced that this borough's changed completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't heard anything like that completely. I think I only hear good things now about the Bronx.
And I still see shit. Like I still see shit. I still. You hear fucking rumors and shit that happens, and you don't always see what happens.
That's true.
Even not even in fucking Wichita. Like crime happens in Wichita.
Crime happens
everywhere.
We live in America.
This is America.
Yes.
And so I'm not saying crime is ever going to be eradicated in the Bronx, but there is a problem.
Yeah, there's a problem.
There is a problem, and fuck.
I would like to say
I think 2 men have been captured.
Yeah, and there's a few more men.
Two or three more.
Yes.
Stop. Like I know the hood has this thing where it's like, oh, we don't snitch, but like that is so fucking stupid. In this situation, fuck them. Like that. Like fuck these guys. These guys should rot in prison. I don't even think prison is good for them.
Yeah, you mean the death sentence, maybe?
Yeah, dude.
We don't have that anymore here.
I thoroughly believe in that shit.
Like some people just should be murdered.
I think you murder someone.
Who deserves it?
You murder someone, and if you can't prove that you murdered him for a reason that's like a justifiable reason, you should also die. Cause no one should have the power to take another person's life. That's not up to you.
Yeah, what I read completely. What I read was that it was a complete miscommunication thing. They got the wrong guy.
Yeah. And apparently they apologized after. Like,
and
who
then
fuck apologizes?
Well, one, how do you get the source? Who talked to this person?
Right.
Oh, the gang of this Dominican gang apologized for the murder of the wrong person. How do you apologize for a wrong murder? That's crazy.
Like how does that fucking? How do you even?
I don't know,
bro. How do you murder someone,
bro?
And then say sorry. That's like the fucking weirdest thing.
You murder somebody and then you're like, oh shit, well, we made a mistake, my bad. Not even the president of the United States, after separating parents from their children, said my bad. All he said was like, oh, it wasn't me. That's basically what he said.
It was the Democrats.
No, it's the Democrats. It was Democrats. But we get this shit and say, well, we murdered this kid. My bad. We shouldn't have murdered him, but we murdered him. He's murdered still. He's a young kid. He's 15 years old.
I can't fucking imagine what his family's going through.
The kid wasn't even a bad kid. It wasn't like he was a gangbanger walking around fucking 3rd Avenue. By the way, I grew up in this neighborhood. This exact neighborhood I grew up in. Yeah. I used to walk around the neighborhood. I went to that hospital. My sister, my baby sister was born in St. Barnabas right there.
And I know the neighborhood. Yeah. Like my cousin lives in that neighborhood, bro.
Yeah.
I know the bodega.
Yeah, I've been to that bodega 3 times in my life. I remember.
Like
I walked around. We used to come from the gym in Fordham.
Yeah,
we used to walk around that exact bodega, fucking area.
That's what I know the bodega, man. My cousin lived a couple blocks from there. Currently lives a couple blocks from there. Like it hit close to home, man.
Yeah.
Like it could have been any one of my family members.
It could have been any one of the family members. It could have been either us if we were still living. It could have been
either of us.
Yes, if we were still living. I don't live in that neighborhood anymore. I grew up in the neighborhood for 17 years.
I'm not saying that I look like the Hulk or anything. I'm fortunate that like a lot of people don't really like come up to me like that. Cause like I'm 6'2", I'm kind of like a reasonably built guy.
Yeah. So
like that affords me a certain level of safety. I'm not saying that I'm untouchable. Like I know anyone under any circumstances could really be touched.
You get a group.
Yeah. And I have been jumped before. Like that time where a guitar was broken on my head and everything. I jumped by like 8-9 people.
Very unfortunate past.
I was 17. Yeah. It was fucking. But that's beside my point. It could happen to anyone. And just
it can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone, and it could be a mistake. It could be the wrong person, but it could be the wrong person all the time. Sometimes that can be a lie too. Sometimes it's just, fuck it. Let's get this kid.
I just don't get it. I just, bro, I've had problems with people. I've never had a problem with a person to the point where I've wanted to kill them. I don't see if you ask me, there's not a lot of situations that can be resolved with a simple fist fight.
Yeah, or just talking it out.
Yeah, just talking it out. But I understand that in life, you can't talk everything out.
No.
In life, your emotions get the best of you. And in those situations, I think a fist fight is appropriate. I know people are like, oh, no, you shouldn't fight. I think people should fight more. I think people are killing because they're not fighting enough.
I think
people are jumping because they're not fighting enough.
You're just coming to. Are we going to?
Nah, no purge, bro. I just shoot the one. Just shoot the fair one with somebody. You got. If someone fucked your sister and then cheated on her, just fuck him up. You don't
just beat him up, and that's it. He learned his lesson. He'll never do it again.
Murder is so fucking stupid, man. I don't understand.
You know how much guts. You know how much it takes to kill a person, to take a life. A young life at that. Someone who had an entire future ahead of themselves, and then just in the blink of an eye was just gone.
A kid who did nothing to ask for these things.
Nothing. This kid was he just lived in the wrong neighborhood, and he was the wrong place, the wrong time, and the people who killed him were fucking stupid as shit. It's like literally none of his fault, and that's why he deserves all the justice in the world, because
I want to see every single one of these men. Apparently, one of the men got caught because their mom turned them in, and I just want to commend that mom. Because that must have been the hardest thing she ever had to do.
Of course, because that's a baby.
How do you fucking turn your kid in? But you have to in that moment. There's I can't live with myself if I don't turn my son in.
Yeah,
my son did a thing that he should be in prison for the rest of his life for.
He's going to prison. But it's a hard thing for a mother to make.
It's a hard, and God bless that mother. Like, her soul, she got a one-way ticket to heaven.
Yeah,
with that one.
Her morals were off the charts.
For your soul to be because as a mother, maybe not so much as a father, and you know me, I can't wait to have kids. I feel like I'm gonna be a really nurturing father, but I think mothers in parenting are the nurturing ones, are the ones who feel more, and get dads are right
experience,
and at least from my experience, right, and mothers are the nurturing ones, the ones that they feel what you feel,
they sense,
my mom, even now I'm 25 again, I'm turning 26 in a week from when you hear this podcast, turning 26. My mom still calls me sometimes at fucking 11 p.m. Are you home? I heard something in the news. I just want to make sure you're home. My dad has never once.
That's the funny thing is my mom kind of does that, but my dad fucking does that all the time. Respect to
Rich. I like Rich a lot.
He does that all the fucking time. He hears something or sees something on the news, and he's calling me, yo, what the fuck you at, man?
Because Rich knows what's out there.
Yeah, I mean, my dad also grew up in that exact same neighborhood, but he grew up not like me. He grew up in that hard environment where all these other kids were surrounded by, and he made those same terrible mistakes.
Things that you did. You also grew up there, Josh.
Yeah,
I also grew up there.
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
Not to talk shit about my family sold drugs. They all did. They've been deported back to DR for the reason of selling drugs. This is the thing in my family. Yeah. We grew up around that. We know. You just learn.
Yeah, you just learn.
And I just jump back to what I was saying. Just God bless that woman for turning her son in. I don't even know if I could. It was necessary though.
I think. It's better. It's easier said than done, but
I can't imagine how hard that was.
That's why I don't know if I should say this, but I think I will do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's easier said than done, but I think I would if my son came home bloody and he told me that he murdered a kid and a
15-year-old kid,
he murdered a kid, and I'm like, yeah, you're going to jail.
It wasn't like he got into a fight with someone and the person died, because that happens sometimes.
Yeah,
you could accidentally kill someone.
Exactly.
These people premeditatedly
it's called manslaughter.
a 15-year-old boy.
This is murder. This is a homicide. This isn't manslaughter. It wasn't out of passion.
I say if my son,
it was premeditated.
If my son got into a fight and he slammed this kid and like his head hit the concrete, I'm gonna help you cover that murder up, bro.
Let's dig the body up together.
Yeah, together. My wife comes in. I explain it to her. We do like all three of us try to cover the body up together.
Yeah.
But like if you premeditatedly went out to end someone's life, I don't respect that. I know that's in our society. That's like, oh, you got balls if you can do that. No, man, you're a coward,
bro. Do you know what's more cowardly? It's people not speaking up in the neighborhood. People not giving the people up. That mother, like I said, you said God bless that mother because she had the guts to be like, yes, it was my son.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people in that same fucking neighborhood that are shutting their mouths up because of
people in the fucking bodega. They saw them drag the kid out and did nothing.
And they did fucking nothing. The hospital, by the way, was 1 block away, St. Barnabas, the emergency room entrance, which anyone collectively could have come together, like fuck those kids up and then save this kid's life. They did fucking nothing, which was terrible. Why would you fucking just watch that happen? Oh, well, it's not my problem. Fuck that shit. It's your problem if it's happening right in fucking front of your face. In your neighborhood, especially in your neighborhood. And that's a 5 blocks distance.
Guess what? They did it in your neighborhood. Now they think that that's something that they can do in your neighborhood.
Exactly. They can get away with it all the fucking time. And that's the thing. If you live in the Bronx, if you live anywhere, you have the right to protect that neighborhood. That's your home. Do you want your child, your nephew, your family member going out in the streets and letting that happen to you?
That's the
and
thing.
if you don't report it, if you don't say anything, it's gonna happen again. It's going to happen again.
That's the thing, Josh. Like for the first time, and this is the Bronx Project podcast. I don't think I'm gonna live here forever, man.
None of us are.
I don't think I can stay. I don't think I can stay here. I don't think I can raise a family here.
I hope the best for this city. I hope the best for this borough, but that's a terrible thing. Like it's been happening for many years, many years. Growing up, I've seen it plenty of times. I've seen people get beaten to death, murdered on the same block that I've lived on.
I've walked by dead bodies
multiple
times in my life.
Growing up was terrible.
I'm not saying that to be like tough or some shit.
No,
I've walked by people dead on the street.
I say the same thing because this is the fucking Bronx.
And that happens sometimes, you know.
But the thing is, living in the Bronx, knowing that this is your home, you hope for the best. You hope that there's some change, that there's some community instinct between the neighbors to just be good neighbors. But this is just showing that one event, and they say don't let that one thing, and I see a bunch of posts on Instagram and social media, don't let that one thing destroy the Bronx. The Bronx is a beautiful area. Yeah, it's a beautiful area. It's rich in history. Yeah, it's rich in history. But murders happen, but they shouldn't.
Yeah,
they shouldn't. And if this is your home, you should not let that happen. Speak up, man.
As this podcast grows, I hope that we do more in the communities to prevent things like this from happening. For now, all we can do is fucking talk about it. All we can do is hope that things will be better.
And that's what I hope for. I hope for everything to be better. I hope that changes a lot. There's too much murders going on in the world as it is in the United States. The past 2 years, school shootings, the shooting in Las Vegas, the massacre in Orlando. There's a bunch of shit.
It just feels personal when it's in your backyard.
It feels too personal. It feels bad. It feels like you've been betrayed by your entire home.
Yeah, that's what I feel. It's like when I left $5 on the counter and then my little brother takes my $5 and he's like, damn, bro.
Fuck that shit.
I left that shit in confidence.
Don't you want to kill him?
Yeah. Shit.
Shit, I should. And it turns out it's not him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
That's how you feel. That's how this looks. But in a much larger scale.
Yeah, in a much larger scale. Not to. It's just us trying to be comedians at the moment. But in all honesty, it's
on
serious.
That note, next week will be a lot funnier, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
We're sorry that this one had to be a bit of a morose episode, but it's just this is the Bronx Project podcast. We can't this hit, like we just finished saying, this hit home for us. It's
hit
something
home
that
for
needed
us.
to be discussed.
Look, there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now. There's the whole separation of families and the immigrants happening
we didn't
in
even
Texas.
get to talk about that.
No, we didn't.
And that's something that's very personal to me too.
That's something that needs to have.
I was born and raised in America, but I'm a child of immigrants.
Exactly, I'm a child of immigrants too.
Immigrants.
Yeah, my great grandparents, my parents. I mean, my grandparents were born in Puerto Rico, came to America and treated like immigrants, like they didn't belong, even though they're citizens. It's a fucked up shit. But to have your children separated from the parents, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then to just ignore it like, well, that's immigrant policy, zero tolerance problem. Fuck that shit. That's still morally wrong.
This is
That's crazy.
Nah, it's honestly, America's just a fucking. It's just I don't know.
Look, in the words of the great Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino.
You're racist. Is that the Mexican Childish Gambino? Childish Gambino. You're fucking disgusting, man. I'm done with this podcast.
Anyways, in the words of Childish Gambino, this is America.
And in the words of Mirez, this is the Bronx Project podcast. I'm your host Mirez,
and I'm your host Orgray.
And there's gonna be better times ahead of us, guys. We're gonna have to stomach these times.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Like I said, we have these episodes. We're gonna have these serious episodes sometimes because shit needs to be said.
Just to be a fucking scumbag and self-promote, rate, comment, subscribe.
Oh god. Rate, comment, subscribe. Remember, if you become my friends, we become your friends. If you are a person that wants to come onto the episode, let us know, man. We are friendly people. We're not gonna come to you and kill you. Yeah, we're from the Bronx, but we're nice people.
Oh no. I'm gonna leave now. This is the Bronx Project podcast. I'm Mirez.
And I'm Earl Grey.
And we'll see you guys next time.